watched all these gangster movies and we started living the streets and we saw the gangsters and we
Guilty.
wanted to be with them. Right. So you want to be made. If us got made, we would get made in Springfield, Mass by the boss, which is the captain in the family, a boss here. He would have made us. And that's what happened to a lot of guys. They all got made here. So we're jumping way ahead. When I got made, and like I said, so much shit happened, but I got made in New York City in the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
And how that happened, it's like we would be talking till tomorrow, how everything took place. But in the short version, when Bruno took over as boss, he got New York involved more. We started doing more shakedowns and extortions, and it got really big. And then New York people don't believe when I say this, not that they don't believe it, but they can't believe it, that it's true, that we never gave money to New York.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. It's true, Tom.
I don't know. He doesn't believe it sometimes. I tell him that some gangsters don't want money because they really don't. If they have a lot of it, sometimes they don't know where it's coming from, and they get a little bit like, I mean.
Yeah.
The bosses in New York had money, number one.
True.
So if you're so they didn't bleed their captains, for the money. They were all multimillionaires, number one.
No, I definitely get that.
Now, if you got a broke bum of a boss, he's going to strangle his soldiers. He's going to strangle his captains. They're going to strangle their soldiers. They're going to strangle their associates. Right.
I was around the
Genovese family. That's why they consider them the Ivy League, the best. Because if you look at it, the top tier, all are multi-millionaires.
Multi-million, yeah.
I mean, all of them, right? So do you think that they don't even want to get involved in taking money from an underling and get involved in some type of conspiracy? I mean, they don't even want to.
100%.
Right.
100%.
Right.
100%.
So they never gave money. When Bruno became boss, that's New York started becoming. All I can say is there was this one bad apple that really destroyed everything in our area. And there's nothing wrong with Bruno bringing in New York. Fine. He brought in New York. I was at the first sit down when Bruno became boss in 01. I was there when they made him boss. I was there when when he became official boss of our area. So I was also there when in New York City, when we were at dinner and they gave him permission to shake down 2 guys in our area for $500 a week. That was it. That's all. And that's how it all began. That $500, which was $1,000 a week, became $50,000 a month. That's how much we were shaking down these legitimate businesses.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure,
right.
No, and I'm pretty sure they were aware of the fact that you, Anthony, had a drug pinch already, right? Back in the day.
Yeah, I got arrested in '96 for they came to my house. They found like 40 pounds of marijuana. They found some ammunition. Bruno wanted to kill me. It was funny. I could tell so many funny stories about that. But he banished me for everything. He banished me in '96. I wasn't yet a millionaire then. He banished me. I became a multimillionaire by '98. I was banished from the mob. Okay,
you were
I met all kinds
off.
of mob guys. I met all kinds of maid guys. I met all kinds of guys in everybody's family. I was in New York. I was meeting underbosses in New York. I was meeting not bosses. I was meeting captains. I was dealing all in marijuana. I was in the marijuana business all the time. That Bruno shelved me. We call it shelf. He shelved me. So I'm going to Boston. So when the case comes to court in '98, the informant that they had against me was no good. I end up getting the case dismissed. Bruno was in prison. He gets out of prison in 1990, end of '98, right around there. He sends for me down at his restaurant. He was on not furlough, but not house arrest. Like when you get out of prison and you're work release. He was on work release. So he was down at his restaurant. He sends me to come see him. He asked me, "You beat the case?" I said, "Yeah." I told him what happened. Foreman was no good. He was another double agent. Like these guys that we got here, it's one family too. I'm going to bring them up too at one point, but they try to work with the cops and everything, right? Yeah. So he said, "You want to come back around me?" I said, "Yeah, okay." He goes, "You all done selling drugs?" I said, "Yeah," which I wasn't. I was selling mad amounts of marijuana, hundreds of pounds a week. I'm telling you, it was a very lucrative. Just do the math. I was selling maybe
that's a lot of weight.
One day I would sell like 300 pounds. It'd take me 3 hours. I'd sell 300 pounds. I make 400 a pound. I make 120,000 in one day. I mean, I was making big money.
now.
Right. I mean, it's like I made big money. So everything else didn't